beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the worldwide collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now and talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
It is a worldwide collaboration song.
Yeah. Look, brainstorming, creating, thinking the new ideas, inventing innovations, representing everything, having members collaborate. Worldwide collaborations, ongoing visualizations, programming operations, bringing everyone together equals more motivation. In the situation we live in, there is no concentration. All the people in the world, but no consideration for everyone making excuses, complaining.
Well, I finally met a woman who was way more freaky than me. Yeah, she was. She wanna do it in the morning, afternoon, and in the evening. We freaking. She love to get it on. Yeah, I had to sleep with one eye open. This woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. I had to sleep with one eye open, yeah. But this woman won't leave me alone. No, she won't. All she wanna do is make love.
Hello, back. We're back. Welcome to the Chatterbox with King Jacob. We're back with another episode. So I'll just be rocking it tonight by myself. And so we're going to tap in and talk about a few things. We're going to talk about the music industry and what it takes to be in the music industry. And, you know, do people have, what it takes as far as do they understand, you know, how to build in the music industry and what it takes. So first you got to have the drive to be in it, man, and do you identify yourself as a brand? Because once being in the music industry, then you become a brand name. So with that being said, let's talk about it. First you have your creative process where you're writing, then you have your recording process. And then, you have to kind of build with the engineer or build with the producer. Um, the producer has to customize your sound so, it will sound great to the masses. And when doing that, it takes a lot of time, effort, patience, and it's not easy. And so let's talk about the process. The process of making a EP or LP or album. That can take some time. And it often takes a lot more time than people want it to take. It's just not an overnight process. And with it not being an overnight process, it's late nights, early mornings. You gotta kind of get away from certain things. You got to be focused and you can't have any distractions. And so with that being said, it's hard work, and then, when should an artist seek management? Well, I think an artist should seek management upon them having a movement, especially whether it's in the streets, in the club, how do your fans perceive you? And 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 have you built a target market audience, as far as a fan base, so with that being said, you don't just seek out management overnight. It takes some time to build that way to seek out management. And when you go to a manager, why should they take the time to manage you? Have you identified as a brand name yet? It's a lot of things to take in consideration. If your music is hot in the streets, is hot in the club. Have you targeted radio yet? Um, can you show a manager that you're seeking BDS reports? Can you can somebody testify that you've been working hard for, you know, 2, 3 years, and you've been putting your music out there, you've been spending your own money, So when with that being said, you have to understand that when it comes to artist management, that's a lot of time, that's a lot of dedication, and you become the brand name, and they represent your brand. And so with them representing your brand, that means that a lot of things are off as far as there's a lot of people that you can't associate with no more because that can mess up the brand, that can tarnish the brand. And if you want people to book you, pay you, endorse you, give you sponsorship, then that's got to be carried in a certain way. And so, with that being said, are you ready for that challenge? Because it's definitely a challenge. The music industry is not what it used to be. It used to be based off your raw talent, but now it's based off your raw talent and your numbers and how people perceive you in the industry or how people perceive you, in the public. And are you making music to elevate who you are, to elevate the community standards, and to elevate the youth? And a lot of times the answer is no. But don't get it twisted. Every music, every genre of music has a market. Some is underground, some is in the trap, you know. Some is you got the South, you got up north, you got the Midwest, and you got the West Coast. So there's a market for every type of music. But will your marketing amplify that you need to be in those certain markets? Um, do you want to what do you want to be known as? Do you want to be known as somebody that they can just only take to an underground club? Or do you want to be known as somebody that you can take to a civic center or arena, you know, or places like that? So artists choose what they want to be and how hard they want to work to get there. So, but we just chopping up about the music industry and what it takes for an indie artist, and I'll be honest with you, I hear some independent artists music that sounds better than what's on the radio. And so, with that being said, indie artists keep working. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't make it. Don't let nobody shatter you from your dreams. But you got to know that you have to have a crisp and a clear sound. They have to be able to put your music on the radio. It has to be radio standards. And with that being said, you have to go to a real studio where it's real engineers, where it's people who understand that their engineering is going to make you sound great, and that's their profession, and they take pride in their profession. So, with that being said, I just want to say, I just want you guys to really understand that it's 10% music and 90% business. Your business has to be in order. It's your paperwork. You know, um, everything has to be all paperwork, copyrights, and if you really want to get them licensing deal artists, trademark your name. You know, um, trademark your name. Turn your music name into a LLC. You know what I mean? Do it the correct way. and have corporate structure behind your brand and behind your name, because your name is everything. Y- Your name is going to benefit your children in the long run. So, we're just talking about the music business, real talk with yours truly, King Jacob. We'll take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back momentarily.
Shout out to the men that just came home from jail and said no matter what the circumstances is, I'm never going back. Shout out to the men that said I'm tired of neglecting my children. I'm stepping up and being a man for my children, teaching them morals, honor, responsibility. Shout out to the men that say, you know what, I'm tired of sleeping on that couch. I'm tired of using my mother. I'm tired of using that girl. I'm going to step up and be a man for me. Shout out to the men that just graduated from college or going to college. Shout out to the men that graduated from trade school. Shout out to the men that say, yo, I'm just tired of being tired and I need to make a change. Shout out to the men that stayed there, that's raising their children. Shout out to the men that's getting married or want to stay married. Shout out to the men that's taking care of children that's not biologically theirs. Shout out to the men that's trying to figure it out. Shout out to the men because you are a beautiful soul. Shout out to the men that's just being a part of everybody's life to make a change, man. Stop the violence.
We're back, man. Shout out to the men that's making the change, man. I always promote, that content right there, because, for a man to be in the streets, go behind the wall, and then come home to make a difference and just to uplift people and to get into the school system, to work with the youth and just show people that you can change, that you don't have to be, you know, that person who people believe that you was going to be. You can change. So we're back talking about the music business. And with that being said, we're going to talk about performances and touring. When an artist is performing, you want to excite the crowd, engage with the crowd. You want to move the crowd. And a lot of times, just walking around on stage, it don't excite the crowd. So you got to move with the crowd. You got to jump in the crowd. You got to pull people on stage with you. You know what I mean? So with that being said, make sure your performance is ready for the stage. Practice your performances. Just understand that this is your brand, and performing is a part of who you are, and so take that seriously. Now, tour management. I tell all indie artists, you know, listen to the radio and see what who's coming to your city, and see how you can get on there. Now, there might be a fee for you to get on that particular show, but understand this right here. Even on the particular show, somebody there to see you, or you might have a connection where your uncle or one of your cousins is cool with the promoter, and they just might put you on the show as a favor, to the homie. But once you get in front of that crowd and you get on that show, just understand that that's your time to kill it. Because a lot of times, if you're any artist and you kill the show, that tour manager will pick you up for the show. And the first tour you get, that might cover your travel, your room and board, feed you, and just tell you to bring your merchandise so you can sell your merchandise during the tour. And that's how you make your money off the tour. Merchandising is key when you're an indie artist. And so you can definitely make money on somebody else's tour by selling your merchandise. So you become an artist, and you are artists, so you become a vendor as well in different cities. So, but tour management is something that's it's not easy. It's not easy booking shows. It's not easy. Even if you are an indie artist and say you have about $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000, there's tour managers that can do a 10 city tour for 6, 7 grand, and on that 10 city tour, in that contract, you might get 750 a show, $1,000 a show, but in that contract, in that contract, there should always be where you can interview at a level one radio station in that particular city. Whether you're in New York, whether you're in Cincinnati, whether you're in Miami, whether you're in Atlanta, Georgia, whether you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, whether you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, whether you're in Los Angeles, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, tour management is very important. Now, engaging with your audience, that's a whole nother ballgame. You got to make people want to see you. So, and with that with that being said, that comes with a lot of character, a lot of charm, a lot of engaging with the crowd, and you're in the digital era now, so you have all types of social media where people can see you, announce where you're going to be at, um, whether just talk to your fans, tell them what you have coming out, tell them that you're going to be here, and this song is my new single, blah blah blah, and this is why I created this song. And so, in my writing process, the creative process went like this, and so you got to engage with the crowd. And when engaging with your artist, your audience, when you on social media, there's key things they want to know, man. Artists, fans want to be personable with you. They want to know what you're from, how you get into the music business, why are you in the music business, and what makes you different from a lot of other artists. You know what I mean? So I think every artist is different. Every artist has a different lane, and artists may sound similar, but no artist is the same. And so, with that being said, I think everybody has a gift, but it's to that person to and channel their gift, to evolve their gift, so people can only understand that you know you have something to give the world, you have something to say, and they can always look forward to what you have to say. So, with that being said, artists, just understand that you're special, that you hold your own identity. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. You know, now you can always learn from other artists. You can take points from other artists, but just compare yourself to someone else. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to compare yourself with anybody else because you are your own unique person. So I just want you to take that uniqueness, package it up, and just give it to the world as a jewel and as a gift. So now, how does music and community development go together? Now, music and community development goes together in a way that you can impact your community, that you can impact the world. So, say you're a music artist and you have something that's near and dear to your heart. Like you may have a family member pass away from cancer. You may have people in your family that struggle with diabetes. So, make you some clean music, you know, make make some clean music about the impact that a disease has had on your family, or had on you, and just promote it and shop it to nonprofits, and shop it to your local city councilman, your local county councilman, because that's a lot of things that the politicians know about that's coming, that we as citizens don't know. They really know about all the events a year prior to the events coming, because during that planning season in September, and when it comes to end of September, they're planning for their next physical year. So they really know about the festival that's coming, the events that's coming. So connect with your local politician, connect with your local school board. And even if you want to go back to your high school and connect with the superintendent of education and give back to the high school, even if you want to sponsor a school talent show, that's your name as a artist, as a business person, and as a advocate. So when you're being an advocate, there's so many things that you can you can do when you enjoy when you're advocate. So with that being said, I just I just tell you to involve your community. And a lot of artists don't have nonprofits. Some do, but an artist that has a nonprofit that is working with a grant writer that is giving donations to give back to put on youth events, youth concerts, and stuff like that, that puts you in a different arena. And so what I mean by different arena, people looking at you different. People people say, oh, this is a person that gives back, but they just love the artistry of music. And so they want to give back and do something for the youth. And so that goes hand in hand with your community development as well. So, just believe in you, believe in your people, believe in your community, because without your community, you know what I mean, it's gonna be hard. You want people who are from your home front to support you. So, you know, to change the narrative, if they won't support you, give back to the youth and they will support you. We're gonna take another quick commercial break and we'll be right back with Real Talk with King Jacob.
I'm tired of lying, and it's getting plain to see. I done tried hard to deny, but this woman changing me. Might go to the clubs, but I leave kinda early, and I don't drink and drive, but chug and jive, so my woman ain't gotta worry. No, no. See, I can't be playing with her heart or playing with her mind. We ain't getting no younger, can't play with my time. And I know she miss me and can't wait to kiss me. So I might be invited tonight. You ain't gotta look for me. I might be invited tonight. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, we're back. We're back. Real Talk with King Jacob, sponsored by the Chatterbox. So, and with that community development, that goes hand in hand, giving back, working with the youth, working with the elderly. But there's another thing that our artists have to consider. Our artists have to consider why they need public relations. I currently am employed by Exquisite PR firm. Shout out to the CEO, Nicole and Jordan. Been rocking with her for 5 years. And I definitely have learned a lot, have seen a lot, and I'm learning more and more every day. And so, with that being said, branding, marketing, and promotions and public relations go hand in hand. So you can't do everything by yourself, or you need somebody to elevate you and help you get to the next level. And so, with that being said, you definitely need um, a publicist or a public relations firm to really get behind you, especially for their branding, marketing, public relations. Um, Going into the public eye and making them understand that you are a brand name and that you are becoming a household name, that's something that you need help with. And with you needing help with becoming a brand name and getting to that level of being a household name, you definitely need a publicist. From digital marketing to SEO optimization, to social media branding, to email marketing, to mobile marketing. All of the above goes hand in hand when having a PR. And so a PR can help you elevate. But not only that, if you connect with your publicist right in your PR right, that's something that's called strategic planning. And if you plan things out strategically, and when I say strategically, The publicist and the client should be so connected to they really vibe off each other ideas, and and a and a great publicist and a great client, they know that they can plan at least four big events a year. Not, not seven, not eight, not the four, only four, because that gives you time to market promote. Whether it's social media marketing, whether it's radio advertising, whether it's email marketing, whether it's Google ads, whether is Yahoo ads, just whatever you need to do to really make the event successful. And you need a sweet team. Like, people have forgotten about sweet teams, and they have went off this whirlwind of not thinking that you need people who are in the streets promoting these flyers, whether it's barbershops, whether it's beauty salons, whether it's hanging posters on light poles, where it's hanging posters in convenience stores and gas stations. That's all a form of marketing, and you need that to elevate. And your elevation is going to come from a lot of word of mouth. So if people see all this marketing in the streets, then people are going to start talking, and people going to want to know who you are, what you're doing, and they're going to want to come to your events. And I will say this right here: people want to see you. A lot of artists don't just come back and just do a little small concert. So there might be a few artists, and they might get with a DJ, and they just might do a freestyle session in the park. Um, you got a DJ spinning and bringing the beats up, and you inviting everybody to come out to really check out the cipher. And that's really needed, especially when it comes to the hip hop and artists. When you say you want to get your music out there, please understand that you need a DJ service pack. Please understand that you need a clean version and a dirty version. You need the acapella, you need the WAV file, the MP3 file, and you need a brief description of who you are, a professional bio, and you need some pics. You need a face shot, and you need a full body shot. That's what the DJs need. I mean, when my mentor taught me, when I first started managing artists, I had somebody to guide me through. A lot of people don't have that. So, shout out to Charles King out there in West Palm Beach, Florida. He taught me a lot of stuff about managing artists. And so, you know, um, he just told me, man, I'm gonna show you, and then you're on your own. And all he had to do was show me one time. You know what I mean? And that was it. So, I just say keep keep putting one foot in front of the other, and just go for gusto. Never stop running. Now, if you are an artist with an LLC and you have a for-profit business, you can get with a grant writer, because there's so many grants out there, not only for nonprofits, but grants out there for profits, for LLCs, corporations, and things of that nature. And so, with your music company, if you have an LLC, there's so much funding for you. There's so many music education grants. There's so many um, um, music business grants, all of the above. And so you can leverage those type of grants to put together your own tour, your own performances and stuff like that. Whether it's a 10 city tour or a 15 city tour, you can still leverage that, or you can leverage it to have your own community center. Just whatever you want to do. But there are grants available for musicians and recording artists and music teachers and things of that nature. So, but yeah, man, it's been real. Just wanted to come through and chop it up with y'all for a quick 30 minutes, and just drop some jewels and drop some knowledge, and just to share with you what I know, and I'm always available. You know, I am Jacob W. Anson II, aka King Jacob. You can reach me at 704-425-8303, or you can reach me at Jacob at Exquisite PR for you. And you can also reach me at Exquisite PR Firm 365 at gmail.com. Or you can just hit all my social media sites up, King Jacob 1974. You know, you can find me there as well. And I do have a new website coming soon. And you know, just stay tuned, you know. And shout out to 168 Radio, Program Director uh Eddie Jones III, aka Icon E. Um, you know, brand strategist, con you know, content director, Mr. Cole M. Jordan of it, with the PR firm, and you know, sales manager, director of communications, myself, Jacob W. Just hit us up, and you know, we looking for new music, we looking for new content creators, and you know, let's work, man. 25, 2025 is going to be a phenomenal rest of the year. I look forward to seeing all of you elevate, and if I can help you elevate in any way, I surely will. Just contact me. Let's have a conversation. Then you know, let's get to the business so we can all make a million. Peace and blessings. We out here.
Do you know how many people are jealous of you? And they got no idea that the gift you have, you never prayed for. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. The gift that you hold, you never asked God to give it to you. And you got folk that are fighting you, and they don't know, I don't even want this. God done put it on my life. All I can do is flow in my gift. You know you're authentically anointed when people who got more than you don't like you. And you're trying to figure out why you attacking me when I ain't got nothing. I hope y'all tap this church. God said, if they hate you at this level, what they gonna do when I elevate you to a whole nother place? This is just the beginning.